Welcome to This Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we're embarking on the ultimate chronological masterclass for buying, installing, and maintaining residential carpeting. We're going to cover the entire life cycle of a carpet, starting from the bare subfloor and going all the way to long-term care. So if you're a homeowner, a DIY enthusiast, or honestly just someone who wants to understand exactly what they're walking on every single day, you are absolutely in the right place.
Okay, let's dive into this. When you walk into a room and sink your feet into a beautifully plush floor, your very first thought is probably about the quality of the carpet fibers, right? But the real secret to that luxurious comfort and its long-lasting durability isn't actually the carpet itself. It's the unseen padding hiding right underneath it. That hidden layer dictates almost everything about how your floor is going to perform.
To get a complete picture today, here is our roadmap. We'll start with 1, the hidden foundation. Then 2, choosing your carpet padding. 3, prepping for installation. 4, 7 steps to install. And finally, 5, defeating dust and allergies. We're taking a logical journey from the subfloor up to microscopic maintenance.
Let's start with Phase 1, Section 1, the hidden foundation, the unsung hero of your floors. You simply cannot have a good floor without a solid foundation to support it.
Carpet padding isn't just about making things feel soft underfoot. It serves a few absolutely crucial purposes. First and foremost, it absorbs the daily impact of foot traffic, kids running around, and heavy furniture. In fact, research shows that carpets with proper padding reduce fiber loss to just 5 to 10% after 20,000 weight rolls. Without a pad, your carpet literally beats itself to pieces against the hard subfloor. Padding also acts as a powerful thermal insulator, keeping rooms warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer. And it dramatically reduces noise transmission between floors. Plus, having the correct padding is very often a strict requirement just to maintain your carpet's warranty.
Now, what's really interesting about this is we get to bust a massive consumer myth right here. The idea that a thicker carpet pad is always a better carpet pad. That is simply not true. While thickness gives you that plush, cushy step, it's actually the density of the pad that provides the crucial support. Density is what prevents the carpet from crushing and wearing out in high-traffic areas. If you just go out and buy a thick, low-density pad, it's going to sag and flatten out really rapidly, which ruins your expensive carpet right along with it. Density is the true driver of quality and longevity.
Which naturally brings us to Section 2, choosing your carpet padding, matching material to your room.
You're generally going to encounter 3 major categories of padding. First is bonded foam, also known as rebond. This is made from recycled foam scraps, and it really hits that sweet spot of comfort and support for most residential spaces. But if you have high-traffic areas, or you're installing a low-profile loop carpet like a Berber, you need something firm and stable. That is where a dense synthetic fiber pad shines. A thick foam pad would actually allow those Berber loops to stretch out and snap, which you definitely don't want. On the flip side, if you're outfitting a quiet bedroom and want maximum cloud-like plushness, memory foam is going to be your best friend. The takeaway here, always match the material to the room's function.
So you've picked your material, but what about the thickness? 7/16. Keep that fraction in your head. For most residential cut-pile carpets, experts recommend a pad thickness of 7/16 of an inch and generally no more than ½ an inch. Going too thick can cause your carpet to wrinkle, it makes doors hard to close, it creates tripping hazards, and yeah, it can instantly void your manufacturer's warranty.
All right, Section 3, prepping for installation, setting the stage for success. And just as a quick aside, doing this prep work yourself avoids those hidden labor fees that big box stores love to bake into their quote-unquote free installations.
Think of me as a contractor standing right there in your living room, guiding you through this. First, rip out that old carpet and thoroughly clean and sweep the subfloor. You also want to remove all closet doors so they just aren't in your way. Next, you'll nail down tackless strips about a ½ inch away from the walls, making sure those sharp tack points angle toward the wall. But here is a massive pro tip for you. Never, ever put tackless strips across doorways or room thresholds. The tacks are incredibly sharp, and if they poke through, you're going to step on them. Ouch. Finally, roll out your padding so it runs perpendicular to the direction your carpet will lay and staple it down, making sure to alternate your staples so they aren't perfectly lined in a row.
With the foundation perfectly set, we've arrived at Section 4, 7 steps to install, laying down the fibers. This is where all your careful planning and precise prep work finally pays off.
Before you unroll a single inch of carpet, you need the right arsenal. Do not try to fake this with basic household tools. The #1 reason DIY carpet installations fail is a lack of professional tools. You'll need to rent a knee kicker, a power stretcher, and a seaming iron. A standard utility knife is great, but a specialized carpet knife is even better. Having these exact tools on hand will literally make the difference between a floor that looks professionally laid and one that ripples and buckles after just a month.
So the crucial point is how you execute these final steps. You're going to roll the carpet out, mark the corners, and trim it, always leaving about 3 extra inches creeping up the walls just to be safe. When joining 2 pieces of carpet, you'll use heat-activated seaming tape underneath the edges. You place your rented seaming iron directly on the tape for about 15 to 30 seconds to melt the glue, and then slowly slide it forward, pressing the carpet down into the adhesive. It requires some real patience. Finally, you attach one side to the tack strips using the knee kicker, and then use that heavy-duty power stretcher to physically force the carpet tightly across the room to the opposite wall. It takes real physical effort, but that tension is exactly what keeps your carpet perfectly flat.
Your new floor is officially installed, but to protect it long-term, we need to move to Section 5, Defeating Dust and Allergies, the Microscopic Battle.
When looking into how real homeowners deal with dust allergies on carpeting, this visceral piece of advice from a Reddit community really stood out. And vacuum slowly. I mean, really slow. You'll be amazed and grossed out by what gets pulled out of there. It's so true. Standard, quick surface-level vacuuming leaves behind massive amounts of debris. It creates this false sense of cleanliness, while a microscopic ecosystem is just thriving deep down in the fibers.
And that brings us to a major modern myth we need to bust: robot vacuums. Don't get me wrong, robot vacuums are wonderful for maintaining the superficial, visual look of your carpet day to day. But if you have allergies, they are not deep cleaning. You really need to invest in a HEPA-certified vacuum, typically in the $300 plus range, that actually traps deep allergens without exhausting a giant dust cloud right back into your room. In fact, for severe allergy sufferers doing a deep clean, wearing a disposable N95 mask while you vacuum is a highly recommended strategy just to protect your lungs from what gets kicked up into the air.
And when it comes to deep cleaning, I want you to remember the number 140. That's 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius. When you rent a high-heat steam cleaner for hot water extraction, the water must reach at least 140 degrees. Why? Because that is the specific temperature threshold required to actually kill the dust mites that are hiding deep within your carpet fibers. Anything cooler than that is basically just giving them a warm bath.
We've journeyed all the way from the raw subfloor, chosen the perfect density padding, successfully stretched our carpet, and waged war on microscopic dust mites. So I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder as you walk around your house today. What is lurking beneath your feet right now? Think about that hidden padding, the tack strips holding it all together, and the unseen ecosystem you are now fully equipped to manage. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.